There it is.
There we go. Sorry. Did we? Should we start again? Did we? I guess.
We're cooking now.
Okay. Well, Psalm 65. We're up to Psalm 65, a very relevant psalm for today. Is that better? Yeah. Can you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I somehow had an echo before. So. But it's become our custom as we are offering these psalms each day for lift during these complicated times that we offer a Misha Berach, a healing prayer. And I'm going to ask for special prayers again for my friend Corinne and her baby, for little baby Deegan, for Sam, and for Jack, and for Meredith, and for Lewis with COVID, and with all the people that are struggling with COVID and cancer and Alzheimer's and other diseases that we cannot yet completely cure. So we pray for the healing of the body and the healing of the spirit, for all the people you hold in your hearts. Amisha Berach.
רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body, the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body, for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Uriel, Uriel, Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. And above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head, Shekhinah Te'el. Michael, who was like God, Gabriel, God is my strength. Uriel, God is my light. Raphael, God is my healer. Above my head, 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 Shekhinah Te'el. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim, blessed are you, great healer. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. A prayer for learning. Excuse me. May our learning bring us lift.
Varevna Adonai et divrei Torah b'filu u'b'fi amcha beit Yisrael. Make the words of your teaching pleasant on our lips, and the lips of all of those that come into our circle, so we can spend the time in learning for the pleasure of it, for its pleasure and for its implications in our lives, for its implications for the works of our hands. Maaseh yadeinu nihiyeh anachnu ve'etzaenu ve'etzaei amcha beit Yisrael kulanu yodei shemecha v'lomdei toratecha. So we may learn this way for pleasure and for implications. Baruch atah Adonai Hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Blessed are you who teaches in this fashion. Amen.
So does it look like we can be heard? Because I know I kind of had to change the settings this morning. Is everything okay?
I'll tell you in a second.
Or can we?
Say something good.
Are we? Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
I love this. Thank you. I love this psalm. I really do. Psalm 65. And Hirsch does this beautiful conversation right in the beginning. Lemanatseach mizmor David Shir. It begins. This is the first one that begins this way. And Shir, he explains, is different than Shirah. Shir, he says, is is the song, is the masculine form, and alludes to ultimate redemption in the future, while Shirah, the feminine gender, indicates that the song deals with the present acts of God, which lead to the ultimate goal. So you've got Shirah today in this moment, and you've got Shir, the ultimate redemption. And I just feel like that's what we're doing right now, It's beautiful, isn't it? That he does that? Did you see that?
I did see that.
Okay. So maybe we'll read the. Do you read the?
Well, here, no, I just was looking at something.
So I love that for today, especially as we're holding the hope of this vaccine in the future, but also we're living in this moment.
But it's the other way. It's the other way.
No.
Shears indicates the future.
That's what I said.
Oh, is that what you said?
That's what I
I'm
said.
sorry. Okay.
That's what I said.
Excuse me.
Yes. And Shirah, the feminine, of course, the one who sits in the mess and tries to figure out today, right?
I beg your pardon.
It's typical. It's typical.
I see.
It is.
So,
but so the ultimate goal of both, though, is this very beginning.
Yeah.
Peace of soul. What does it mean to have peace in your soul, even when there is no peace? How can you have peace of soul even when you feel tormented by the past? How do you find peace of soul even when you're tormented in this moment?
Quieting.
How do you find that quieting of the monkey mind, of the soul?
Quieting
and eventually what we'll get to is this beautiful image of the water, right?
And your vow fulfilled. Yes, and how it settles and furrowed land.
Yes, exactly. So let's try to get from here this promise of the peace of the soul. What I think we need today, because we need to make decisions.
He also does an interesting thing
out of that
tefillah too.
What?
What? The next verse.
Peace of soul is an emanation of thy mighty acts, O God in Zion, and unto thee a vow will be made.
Shomea tefillah.
Shomea tefillah. That's beautiful. You who hears prayer. So what does he do with that?
Well, he does this thing with prayer that's throughout his commentary, that he takes this notion of tefillah as having a certain kind of interiority. I may be making up a word there, but it works. The interior nature of prayer, a sense of we have a lot of names for prayer in our vocabulary, and he likes to distinguish one from the other. And this one has a sense of turning a harsh, a serious eye on our internal state. So he expresses that this is a form that we use when we're really doing a serious self kind of evaluation. This kind of prayer. So it's a notion of prayer with the shading of serious interior self evaluation.
Wow. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And what he promises also in this verse is that one day, right, kol basar, all flesh, that feel, right? When you feel it in your bones, when you feel it in your flesh, the only way to bring that peace is to return to God, right?
He has an interesting take on this also this phrase of all the flesh. He says, it's an acknowledgement of human beings with all their weaknesses and frailties.
Yeah.
It's in this phrase.
But as long as you're willing to feel it in your bones, in your flesh, as long as you're willing to feel it and recognize it, it will lead you. It will lead you home. It will lead you to that source of peace. The products of sin that are our common defection. In other words, we all sin.
They're heavy
and they overcome us, right?
And you forgive them.
You are maybe
You cleanse us of them.
The only idea that I find comfort in is that if God is anything, God is forgiveness. I'm certainly not there yet, but I love that notion. It gives me comfort to think that if God is anything, God is this forgiveness for for being human, because as human beings we're gonna make mistakes.
We do. We have frailties, and
oh God, we're so imperfect.
And you forgive them.
You are forgiveness, God.
For
only the one that strides forward to salvation.
Here's Ashrei again.
Will, yeah, right. Ashrei, forward. Not happy, but forward.
Think up.
Oh, think up. I love that.
And there's a series of verbs here. Think up, then choose, come close, dwell. Oh, he's right in.
Wow.
It's nice.
Bring near unto you, so that we may find a dwelling in you, right? We too wish to be satisfied by the goodness of your house, which is the sanctified, in the abode of your might. In other words, back to that sanctuary. Where do we find that sanctuary? Where do we find that safe place, right?
Sanctuary.
Where do we find that safe
Noraot
place?
v'tzedek.
Accept our limitations, accept ourselves.
With wondrous things and righteousness, you answer us. With righteousness.
You answer us with awesome truth.
You know, it's another thing that David keeps focused on. He focuses on tzedek.
Yeah.
So a lot of righteousness.
Tzedek, moral
Keep
center.
your eye on the righteousness.
Moral center.
With him, it's follow the righteousness.
Yes. Yeah, right. I love that.
It'll lead you up.
Right. It'll lead you up, forward. Right. Yeah, right. Thou dost answer us with
and
awesome
it works
truth
all over
and
the world, man.
God of our salvation, you are the trust of all who dwell
Katzvei,
at the ends of the earth and the distant seas. This is not just a local thing here, right?
That's right.
We're talking about all creation here.
The
one that sets fast the mountains with strength is also girded with victorious might. In other words, you know, there is something that is constant, and that is creation.
It's the strength of ultimates, ultimate visibles, the visible ultimates,
stilling the roaring sea,
and power.
Right? Yeah. Wow, nice permanence and power.
Mashbiach she'on yamim.
Stilling the roaring of the seas and also the surging multitude of the peoples.
Of the seas and
people can get a little
the rolling,
anxious.
Like the waves. The waves of people. The rolling waves of people.
Yeah.
There's some good imagery here.
Right. Yeah. Verse 9. But when the inhabitants of the most distant parts shall have learned to fear, and here the word is yirah. It's awe, not fear.
And here's a strange word.
Awe, right? In your signs.
Very strange word. Interesting word. Signs.
Your signs.
Something like very lofty signs. Well, we've been mentioning the mountains and the rolling of the seas and things like this. And
even the outgoing of morning and evening will rejoice.
Motzai voker ve'erev. It's good. The mornings and the evenings rejoice. I like that. It's nice.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's hope in another day, right? There's only hope in the passage of time that things, if you're in a bad place, that they will change. You know, a day at a time. You just live this day because you do the best today. Tomorrow will be better. Or At least you'll do your best tomorrow too.
Or it won't.
Because you remember the earth when you let it languish.
Here's that great word, pakadata. Your kind attentions. Hirsch points out too, by the way,
Yeah.
that this word has also the shade of mercy attached to it. Not only attentiveness, but kind attention. Some blue. Never will I forget. Your kind attentions. For through them you have given me life.
Nice. You remain abundant to it in exceedingly great abundance. The fountain of God is always filled with water. So when you dip into that fountain of faith, you can't.
It's a river of
be
God.
empty. You can't have nothing. You're drinking from the fountain of God.
It's a river
Always
of God
filled
full of
with
water.
water. You will prepare their corn when thou prepare it thus. What
It's
the
some
heck
good
is
corn.
that? What's the corn?
Some delicious corn.
Why corn? What's the corn?
You ever had really good? It's corn. It's delicious corn. You plant it, it grows.
Yeah. So, your water.
This is the miraculous in the natural.
Yeah, that's nice.
Lamala
Yeah.
and Lamata Teva.
Right. Yeah, the connection
This is
between the
Lamata.
upper and the lower worlds.
Beautiful.
The water and its ridges now settle down its furrows.
I love this. So
Make it
this is
soft
a
with showers.
difficult language, but it's something about the water smoothing out
11.
the furrows in the land, and the land becoming soft with
It's
showers.
not cut, but to
It's beautiful.
mix. When you divide the land, you plant the seed, right? It's gentle, it's loving.
Yeah, when the land
Right?
doesn't produce so well, when it begins to rain and the furrows are set and dried, and
Make it soft with showers.
the land
Bless
begins
its
to
growth.
smooth out.
It's like talking to your plants, right?
No,
Bless its growth.
And this
We
is
need
good too
that.
here, the pastures of wilderness.
You have crowned the year of goodness with your goodness, and your paths drip with abundance.
Oh, there's lots of dripping language here too. I love that word too.
Nice.
Ra'af, dash, and some kind of fat.
Even the pastures of the desert will drip, right? And the hills gird themselves with joy. So, we start with this notion of this poor soul in search of peace. But it's there. The thing is that with the big picture, even though right now our souls are uneasy and we're yearning for some peace, in the big picture, if we just plant and we have faith in the waters and the hills and the ongoing magic and wonder of nature. Verse 14, the meadows will clothe themselves with sheep.
They're enclothed. They're wearing
sheep.
They're wearing sheep. They're enclothed with sheep.
It's going to be okay.
The
and
meadows.
the valleys will cover themselves again with the corn that we've planted. They fill themselves with the praise of God.
Wrapped in.
It's this shear of the future and the shira of today. And somehow they come together to sing songs beholding the greatness that exists when these worlds, when we recognize the connectedness of
It's
the
a
worlds.
good song.
It's a great song.
Psalm 65. Smooth the furrows. Your leadership.
Yeah.
Shekhinah waiting. To David, a song future. Soul quiet, praise you God, a vow fulfilled. Hear the labor of our souls, sensitive and soft. Prayer, all flesh will come to you then. words of sin, consequences. You will forgive me our shortcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Upward, choose, close in, live in goodness. Your house, holy your palace. Answer all.
Yeah.
Righteous God of salvation, all the ends of the earth, faraway seas, trust. Set the mountains, hills, the roaring seas, still the waves of peoples. Still the inhabitants of the earth. From the signs, morning and evening, rejoice.
Mm. Yeah.
Kind attention you attended to the earth when it languished, then abundant, river of God, full with water, corn from the earth. Water down the ridges, smooth the furrows, soft with showers, bless growth. You crowned a year of goodness, circles dripping, desert wilderness dripping, hills girded with joy, dripping fat, meadows clothes with sheep, valleys wrapped in corn, all rejoicing, all singing.
Yeah.
December 15th, 2020, Teelim on the ceiling.
Thanks for joining us on this fifth day of Hanukkah. The fifth day of Hanukkah. Tonight, the sixth candle. God, these psalms are quite remarkable, aren't they? So, in the midst of this mess, remember we have to be Shirah, we have to be very present, but we also have to sing of a future that will bring hope. We hope you will have a day of lift, a good day, as we prepare to light the sixth candle of Hanukkah. Bringing the worlds a little bit closer together by lighting them up.
Never will I forget your kind attentions, for through them you have given me life.
Nice. To pay attention. In Hebrew is sim lev, to put your heart. And Debbie asked what translation we've been using that we love, and we are using the translation of the Hirsch Psalms. And we think it may be out of print, but you can still.
No,
get
it's still
them.
it's
It's
around.
still in print?
You can find it.
You can find
It was picked up by a different publisher, but you can find it.
So have a great day,
There's
everyone.
a magnificent commentary.
Yeah.
I can't end on commentary though.
Don't forget.
Never will I forget your kind attentions, for through them you have given me life. Never will I forget your kind attentions, for through them